Disclaimer, this is my opinion about the game and not about what the developers have done outside it. Thank you. Overwatch, a game that's been played by millions. A game that shaped me as a person alongside games like Minecraft and Geometry Dash. In this video, I'll go in depth about the experience I've had both as a veteran and player of the game, what has changed, and what I think about the future of this game. Let's get started. I've been playing this game off and on since 2017, or precisely since Season 3. To give you a bit of an understanding, Orisa, Doomfist, Ashe, and other heroes were not introduced yet. The game had way less heroes and maps. The only core difference between Overwatch in 2017 and now for me is that I used to play on PlayStation. I remember when I picked up my controller and started playing, I immediately fell in love with this game. It isn't a surprise since this was my primary first-person shooter. The thing that gave me such a great impression of the game is that I saw people in my environment playing it constantly, so it was only normal for me to get into this game as well. I was amazed by how easy it was to learn to play with the heroes. The hard part is mastering and learning to counter other heroes. This is what I struggled with for the majority of the time, actually right until now. Something that I observed, which is the reason that a lot of players stopped playing the game, was competitive mode. The elo ranking goes from bronze to top 500, with almost everyone placing in gold after playing 5 to 10 games. Since gold isn't really a high rank and is full of beginners, you're bound to meet a lot of more toxic people who refuse to communicate and make a coordinated attack against the other team. Which is precisely the reason why I've met a lot of people who've dismissed or just given up on the game. Which is honestly fair, though I'm glad I stuck around for so long without complaining much. In my opinion, the peak of Overwatch was 2017 to 2018 when the Overwatch League was in its infancy and things like role queuing and obscene balancing weren't introduced. It was in a state of great prosperity and popularity at this time. A lot of hype was generated for almost any new feature and people were staying up late to play the new Overwatch events. The way the developers rolled out constant action enticed many to join and play with friends, which everyone can agree was really fun. Like, come on, nobody passed up a game of Junkenstein's Revenge with their friends. What I would consider Overwatch's downfall, though, is the slowdown of new updates, and eventually no new content or heroes past mid-2020. I know that Overwatch 2 was their primary goal, nevertheless I believe that they could have at least made more fun game modes, or even feature player-based workshop modes in the arcade for everyone to enjoy, instead of the same goddamn 3v3 eliminations, deathmatch and fucking quick play classic. A part of what kept the community and game alive were the workshop game modes, and I think that the development team should repay the people. To be fair, the coronavirus made it extremely difficult for the team to create new ideas, especially when they had to resort to working at home, separated from everyone else, which made it very hard for the managers to get in touch with everyone and have order. Nonetheless, I'm surprised that they can make Overwatch 2 what it is since the public announcement in 2019. Not to sound like a huge fan or anything, but I don't think a lot of game development studios could put this much effort and pull all this off. Sure, there would be a decent amount of bugs in the game, but I believe that the game will have a larger player base that can help combat this. A lot of people ask me why I've been so intrigued by this game and how I can play it while knowing the competitive is majorly a cesspool of people who throw their goddamn keyboards out the window after the first round being turned out poorly. Or when the healer just decides to stop healing someone, or even everyone in some situations because they can't help but to cry about the team not having a proper strategy. The reason is that I've always had hope that I can improve and maybe inspire others to get better, which I can say with confidence that it definitely works if we give it some time. It's kind of insane how Overwatch has always been something I could lean on or come back to whenever I've been burnt out or felt demotivated. There aren't as many objectives I could do, though that's unfair to say, as two of my most played games are literally sandbox and I guess platformer. Having something to play that's more fun forefront and what takes less patience feels good, but in the end I either stop playing Overwatch sometimes because I run it way too much, or because I finally get motivation to come back to said games. After all this, I want to thank Overwatch for introducing me to the FPS genre, and the people who've played with me in these past 5 years. It's been an amazing ride through different metas, heroes, maps, and so much more. I hope that this game will be something to remember, even after I'm not able to play anymore. I'm very excited to see you all join Overwatch 2, and maybe we could even play a game or two together, who knows? Thank you all for watching this. Be sure to subscribe, and maybe even check out my other videos if you have the time. Really love y'all. See ya.